Hello.
Hello everybody.
Hi everybody. It's good to be here. Let us know if you're with us. Say hello, say your name, where you're from. You know the drill, because we really love to know who's with us and to have a real conversation. So I'm Karni Zor.
And I'm Gafnit Salvi.
And we're
very happy to be here.
We're very happy to be here. We've been with you for the last half month, every 2 weeks, with the new moon, new knowledge meetings.
What do you mean half month?
Half a year, a whole half year that we've been doing the new moon, new knowledge meetings every new moon, and then the full moon gatherings every full moon. And today we have the topic of getting out of our
box.
Exactly. And we have prepared
a
box, which we might not literally get out of because we're bigger than this box, but we'll definitely talk about how can we get out of our own boxes. So let me do just a little thing here to make sure. Okay. So what did we start with?
Maybe can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Like we try to zoom in from out and to look at the bigger picture first, because we are in definitely a very unique time.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what's happened with the stars at the moment?
Yes, very good question. So if you don't know us yet, I am an astrologer. I've been working with astrology for 20 years, but not only that, because being an astrologer is one of my boxes. I also heal people, coach people, give spiritual journeys all over the world.
You're also a mother.
And I'm also a mother.
And you had a Mother Day yesterday.
Exactly.
So all the mothers here. And
Happy
all the
Mother's
fathers.
Day
Yes.
for everybody.
Yes.
And hello to Anne and hello to Ashley.
Hi.
And Gafnit, one of her boxes is artist and another box is educator.
And out of the box is what is possible.
Exactly.
Yes.
And everything else is absolutely out of the box. She's also a great cook, and she writes books and
research
a lot.
Yes.
And you also learn astrology with me.
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited each time, and I'm saying, oh no, it's really hard. But then I let my intuition work and I relax.
Exactly.
So what's happening in the
skies?
When we look up.
Exactly. So we're now in the new moon. New moon is a time to put in a seed of new knowledge or new wish for our lives, new resolutions. Specifically, classically talking, classical astrology, the sun and the moon are now in alignment in the sign of Taurus, which is the classical astrology that usually we know, but I'm working with the new astrology, which is the astronomical updated astrology. And then there is this big change because actually the sun and the moon and the sun are aligned now to the previous constellation, to the constellation of Aries. And in the constellation of Aries, we can find our true passion. So this is the spiritual possibility, the personal development pathway of this month, finding our true passion. And when we find our true passion, we can ignite the light of others, because finding one's passion is also so inspirational and is catching fire. So this month we are aligned to the constellation of Aries, which I call the astrological realm of the flame, which talks about igniting our own passion, and by that igniting others' passion. And we'll say hello also to our friend Eleni from Cyprus, and everybody who's here. Say hello, say where you're from. It's great for us to know who we are talking with.
And also ask us questions.
Exactly.
And give remarks for what is happening, because we are learning together. Because seeds can be put in many ground, in many lands, in many countries.
Yes, so we're having the next hour about the concept of how to get out of our boxes. If you have any questions, if you have a story, if you have any insight about it, please let us know so we can be in touch and get out of our box with your questions. So another huge thing that is happening now in the skies, and it's very important. In 2 weeks' time, when we will have the next full moon, it's actually going to be an eclipsed moon. We're going to have a full lunar eclipse on May 26th. And this will start a whole 2 weeks period of which is called an eclipse season, and it will end with a solar eclipse on the new moon of June 10th. So we're heading towards very big celestial events, and of course our meetings will be according to that, with that, understanding the possibilities of these times. But just to say that the time in between two eclipses, which will start 2 weeks from now, will continue for 2 weeks, is a very powerful, important time of changing old paradigms, changing old patterns, and really making a leap forward towards the future. Now, astrologically, there are some of my students here. Gafnit is my student, and Ashley is my student. And my astrology students probably know that what astrologically happens when there is a solar lunar eclipse. The way it looks is that the sun and moon conjunct on a point on the astrological chart, which is called the true node, which is the karmic point of the chart. And Carrie, my student who graduated this week, is also here again. So congratulations, Carrie, who's an astrologer now. And the true node is a very unique point. When I do charts for people, the true node on the person's chart will talk about their karmic lessons and what they need to challenge this lifetime. Now, when the moon and sun conjunct on the true node, these are the eclipse times. This week, the sun and moon are not there yet, but Venus, the planet of feelings, and Mercury, the planet of thinking, are aligned to the true node. And this means that although we're not in the eclipse season yet, our emotions and our thinking patterns are getting started to prepare towards this big event that will take place in 2 weeks till a month's time. So things are starting to brew in us emotionally, mentally. It's a very, very important time.
And it's not everything is like flowers and diamonds. Some of it is, Can you say something about it? Because we can feel some tension in the air, internally, externally.
Yes, because this time of the true node talks about life's challenges, and now our own emotional prints come to face us. Our mental prints come to face us. We're actually seeing more clearly than ever where we need to change, and this is not comfortable to know that we need to change some thinking patterns and
it's like
emotional patterns.
We stand in front of the mirror and we say, okay, we need to change, but it's not a physical, it's something internal. Very internal. Sometimes it's even hidden, that we need really to search for it, because we feel something but we don't know. It's like we dig, but we don't know what we're going to find. So it's intense, and we need really to have a lot of care for ourselves in this time.
Yes.
Not to be hard with ourselves, not to punish ourselves, not to be self-judgment for ourselves, because then it's also invite other people to judge us. So we really need to have forgiveness, but it's an opportunity to change.
Yes, yes. I think that changing needs to come from acknowledging ourselves, loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves, and from there it's a good start to actually change.
Yeah, because many of the things we need to change coming from childhood, and from the very early, and that when we meet a child, so when they need to do the change, we do it softly, with a hug, with warmth, and not like by clear cut. That it's many times it will cause people to shrink, the little one to shrink.
Yes.
And they will need to do many changes in our life like we need to do. So it's need to come with the right ecology to support this change.
I think it's so important. We didn't plan on saying all that, as we never do, but it's such an important preparation, because we are going to talk about how to get out of our own boxes. But if we do it with lots of harshness and judgment, resentment to our boxes, it won't work.
Yeah, can I show?
Yes, please, and also yes, please do.
Okay, so if I take all this, I will not. But I open it and I, turn it over, and everything that is here falling on the floor. This is not the idea, because this means to be hard with ourselves and to break the box as well. But our box is, in a way, our experience in life. So not to do this, upside down, everything on the floor, take the broom and clean. So how to do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll say a few more hellos. I'll say hello to Colin, who is joining us from Brazil. And Colin is part of the Ruby Mountain team, where you can find amazing spiritual knowledge. So if you're interested in more of that, you'll find me and Colin and other wonderful people from the world giving meetings. You can take a look at the rubymountain.org site and find out how you can learn the Ruby Mountain trails. And I'll say hello to Einav from here close by in Israel, who is going to Costa Rica with me this July. As the skies are reopening, the first journey will take place July 2nd, this time for a group of Israeli people. But drums, please. Da, 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 da. Hopefully around December, there will be a journey for English speakers in Costa Rica, led by Gafnit and myself. So keep posted. But enough, we're doing it together very, very, very soon. So it will be amazing. Now, let's talk about the box.
The box.
This is the box. Each one of us has one.
At
least one. Exactly. Sometimes you'll open the box and find another box and another box and another box and another box. Now, before we get out of the box, okay? Now
we need to see what's in the box.
Exactly. Let's take a look what's in the box. Okay.
Can I show something?
Yes, please.
I
actually have things in the box, but we'll wait.
I actually remind myself, and I told Karni that a few years ago, I was making, I think, around 40 drawings of in the box, out of the box, and no box, little caricature. How do you say?
Caricatures? Hopefully.
Funny things. So I want to show you, I don't know if you can see it, but this is like trying to find out what is in my box. And there is music, there is world adventure, there is dates, there is books, there is art, there is family, there is so many things inside our box. So it's actually to sort out from time to time. In Israel you also do it in Passover. You actually search, you
like
actually
cleaning.
Spring cleaning. Probably in Easter you do it as well. Spring cleaning. What's in, what's belong, what's out, what we used, what we want to use, what we don't need anymore, and we can pass it forward or just get rid of it.
Yeah. Yes. So amazing. I didn't know about the drawings, but I actually prepared this exactly the same thing. Yes. Okay. So what do we mean by our box? Okay. So we go into any occasion. We can talk as if it's the glasses that we look at the world through. Okay. So anything that I experience in my life, I am actually experiencing it out of my box. Then when I go back home, I can really feel my box, right? What are my emotions? What are my thinking patterns? And again, astrologically, this is the greatest time to take a look at our emotional patterns and thinking patterns now. So we're opening.
It's kind of a mystery box.
And we're finding in it lots and lots and lots and lots of things. And as Gafnit said, you know, we don't want to open the box and pour everything out of it, because, you know, sometimes part of what's in our box is actually
super important.
Quite good. Wow, you know, I have lots of humor in my box. I have some peace and mind, peace of mind. Okay. We're experiencing some disconnections. I hope it will sort out of electricity. And we have some good experiences, you know, in our boxes. We can have lots of good things in our box.
Yes, we can also look at it as what kind of earthy things we have, like habitual life that is really holding us in. Okay.
Yay. Okay. So we're back on. We're sorry. There is a electricity problem here. I hope that you're with us and that you rejoined us.
Yes. So I started to say that we can actually look on what in the box with certain like template of the 4 elements. So what are our habitual life, which are very much to do with the core, with things that are grounding us, like what are the roots of our habitual lives that are important.
Yes.
And some of them are really important, but some of them we can change them because we grew up, we change, it's a new time, it's a time of change, and we want to renew ourselves and to develop to a much finer proposition. And then we can look at what are the water, what are the emotion, our feeling that, you know, we are washed by every day. Some of them which are really help us to connect to our inner intuition and inner knowing and our relative and our family and our friends and connecting with ourselves. And some of it we can say goodbye. It does not serve us anymore. Same with air. Same with air, which is to do with the atmosphere, to do with thinking, to do with liberation. Yeah? Because as you can see in the house, the most of the things are on the ground. But in the air, there is always space, unless there is a mobile or something. So it really also gives us an opportunity to change some of our thinking patterns and create new mind map that really will help us. And then there is a fire, which is to do with our inner passion. Is it the same? Do we want to upgrade? Do we feel an urge to do something? Do we want to take some of our passion into a deeper place? So this is just one kind of searching what in the box.
Exactly. So the first phase is really understanding what we have in our box. We have here a dog that wants to get out. So the first stage is really understanding what is in our box and sorting it out and seeing in our emotional patterns, thinking patterns, doing patterns, energy patterns. Yes, the 4 elements. Are there things there that I actually want to keep in my box because it's good? And are there things there that I want to sort out because it's not good? And actually last time we talked about the things that we have which are good for us that create more of the same thing. So we don't want to throw everything. We don't want to turn the box upside down, throw everything. We first want to really sort out the things that we want to keep and the things that we want to
and to do a thorough detection. Thorough detection, and it takes time. It does not happen in half an hour. You know, it's not like a vacuum cleaner that it just takes time. And maybe it's good to take even like a notebook and divide it to 4 or any patterns you want to work with, and write things down. And really spend some time to meditate. You know, a lot of our meditation is to do with what others bring to us. But we have all the tools to meditate upon these kind of things. Does it serve me? Like for me, many times if I learn astrology, I stand up every 3 minutes because I'm an hyperactive person. Does it serve me? Can I concentrate? What will help me to concentrate? What will help me to concentrate? So I'm trying to take a notebook and to draw and to write whatever Karni is saying. So I'm really, it's helped me to remember. So each one have their own. There is a little dog here.
And a little girl here.
Girl, wonderful girl.
It looks like a box, but actually there's lots of action around.
Yes. So this sorting out is a wonderful process to also give ourselves a confirmation of what worked to us until now, and how do we want to develop it, upgrade it, and elevate it to a new stage.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, we're in the new moon, new knowledge, so we're planting seeds that will grow later on. So let's plant the seed of the idea of, you know, that we have our emotional patterns is our box, our mental patterns are part of our box, our behavior patterns are part of our box, our energy patterns are part of our box. Okay, so
our relationship
patterns are part of our box. Yeah, our friendship patterns are part of our box.
Yeah, our relationship with nature, it's also part of a bigger box. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very, very, very important because, you know, sometimes we do want to limit ourselves to some things. We do want to have the standards and say, no, we don't want to go with that. But other places, our boxes are limiting us. Okay, so
let's try to give an example, and maybe you can also share with us what do you think is a box that actually limits us.
Yeah. So if you're now like discovering that there is actually a box that limits you, that doesn't allow you you know, when we drew a card at the beginning of before we started the video, we got the card of Jupiter. This is one of the astrological cards I've created. Jupiter is definitely about being out of our box, being free, having a wide scope, free as possible. So what is our box, or what's in our box that doesn't allow us to be as free as we would want? Okay. If you have something popping up and you want to share, then write to us, or ask how can I get rid of this and that box.
Because it's very much like I am doing the same road. Every time I'm going, let's say, to the post office, I will go the same way. Of course I will open my post box, but I can go this way and this way and this way. I have at least, in our small village, at least 5 ways, which are not the longest way to the post box, which I like to take, because I can visit different places. And it's also, I feel that it really give me flexibility of mind. And you know how it is, sometimes you walk and you find yourself in a place and you said, how did I come there? Because it's already so automatic that we forget how did we reach there. But by doing this journey, we discover, it's like little children when they go and discover, oh wow, this flower and this stone and this combination and this person that like to sit in this bench and read a book, and you find people to speak with. So it's incredible how we can actually get to the same place but different direction. This is how we can also change some of our habitual life to a new initiative.
Yes.
And then for me it may be a rise new feeling.
Yes. So let's open that up, because it's very, very, very important.
Yes.
But just I want to even to emphasize more about the, our boxes. Yes, it's like said or known that old people have in their living room on the rug certain patterns, because they're used to walking, the same way to the kitchen, back to the sofa. But I have a new puppy dog, and the first time we went to a stroll, and a walk in the village, you can choose, will I go right, will I go left, and I did a certain specific journey in the village, and I actually find myself doing now for a whole month exactly the same route. I just understood it now. Like, whoa.
Because dogs are very magnetic.
Exactly. Yes. So dogs are something that love. They're creatures that love the repetition. Yes, but
not like cats.
Exactly.
That goes here and there and jump and up and down and fall and 7 lives they have.
Yes.
Because they visit everywhere.
Yes. And I know it's a frightening question to ask ourselves, but let's ask ourselves, what of what we're doing is what we really want to do, or what's needed now, or what my intuition tells me, and what of it is actually something habitual that we continue to do it. We love, the repetition, or we're used to the repetition, or we don't even pay attention, and we actually repeat it now. It became our box.
A station.
Yes.
I can speak about 2. I can give 2 examples. One is patterns of eating.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that there is many people now that suffer eating disorder, because it's a media of control of themselves with the outside. So there is many patterns of eating that really arrest us in specific, eating, not eating, when do we eat, night eating, eating everything that we can sort it out. We can help to sort it out by asking ourselves, what is the reason that when maybe I was 12 and then I went into specific diets, or do I still need it when I'm 65, you know? What do I want to change? And this is something that it takes some courage to face, but again, softly.
Exactly.
And this is a very big issue today, because we are bombarded by conscious and unconscious and semi-conscious advertisement of how girls and boys need to look today. But what about our own genetic? What about, you know, being with well-being and not being so subject to this eating? What do I put in and when? And try to make things, you know, when we eat from nature, like an apple or a banana or a potato, it was growing inside the land with the fresh air. So it's got all the substance and the energy of nature, and not the ready-made, you know, what we buy from the factory, because this is artificial food. This is one example. And the other one is the way we go to sleep. Like if we coming home and we don't take a shower after a day of work or after a day of being outside, and for sure we will fall asleep. But if we take a shower, our sleep will be more charged and more ready for the next day. And if we sleep with partners as well, so if we didn't take a shower, we just, you know, swamp into the day of work, which was wonderful when we work, but when we put it in bed, it's need to do a rethinking, because it connects us to the natural way of sleeping, which is a gift. So I know that there is some countries that have habitual taking shower in the morning, but also we can take a shower before we go to sleep or whilst we came back from work. So we put work at work, home at home. These are just two.
Yes, there are so many things actually now coming in, because first of all, this might be the uncomfortable stage where we actually are starting to open it up and to see what kind of boxes, what kind of patterns we have. This is why we opened with the fact that we need to see it and be understanding about ourselves, soft about ourselves. It's the electricity goes off again, so we're hoping that it won't be cut off again. Wow. Okay. Wow. So we're back mainly, I think, to see, we're not sure if we'll really continue, because there are internet problems here, and so if you're with us, we went out of our box completely. The electricity stopped here for a while, and we do apologize.
Yeah, and also it's actually reflect to us what do we do when unexpected things are happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is a very good point to check out.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get into stress, panic, jokes, relaxation, looking at the electricity box, whatever, you know? But first of all, we really saw that we were cut out. It was unexpected.
So maybe we'll just say a few things and finish before the next electricity problem happens. Because I think that today we really opened up, you know, the uncomfortable side of looking at our boxes. We had so much planned about how to get out of our box, but maybe with Venus and Mercury aligned now to the true node, talking about the ability to really change and transform our emotional patterns and thinking patterns. And as we said, there are so many other patterns.
Physical patterns.
Exactly, behavioral patterns. If we can recognize first the things that we want to change, and we come to it from a soft attitude, loving, understanding attitude, like being the mother of ourselves and telling us, okay, this is wrong, but okay, now let's start slowly to work on it. This can be a very good way to actually start to look at things.
Yeah, and I want to tell a funny story that came to my mind. Sometimes you need to go to the dentist and you need to take a teeth. So there is a wisdom teeth, and I had to take it a few years ago. So before it happened, I actually say thank you. I had a dialogue with my tooth, and I say thank you for her being there and served me for so many years. And I actually thank her and ask her to release the roots so she can go out easily without the dentist need to work, with a heavy machine. And I came to the dentist and I told him, this is the teeth need to be taken out. And he said, yes, I can see. And I said, please try. I told him the story. I said, look, I said, thank you to my teeth. I asked the roots to release. Please try it not with a heavy machine. Try to do it with your hand. And he said, no, it can't be. I said, try. If it not work, get the heavy machine. I said, don't put any injection too. And actually he did like this, and the teeth came out. He was shocked. He said, how did you do it? I never saw something like this. And I said, look, it's my body. This served me for so many years. We build a relationship. So when I spoke with her, 1 week, every day for 2 minutes or something, not too long, not like philosophical.
Not Zoom conversations.
Not like philosophical. It's actually helped. He was so shocked. And I said, look, you can share it with others, because we can say goodbye to something that serves us and say our appreciation and give our sentiment to this teeth or other habitual life. When it's end, their season, like the leaves falling. So a little meditation can be like a leaf falling in autumn time, and they change their color and they go on the floor, on the ground, and actually become the nourishment of the tree. We can also change few things, so we are more ready for the next.
Amazing. Yes.
It was magic.
It was amazing, really. Wow. So I'm wondering, how can we recognize now things in our box or our box and softly say thank you to it, because it did serve us.
Yes.
Till now, whatever it is, whatever emotional pattern, mental pattern, whatever it is, it served us till now. We can say thank you to it. It brought us to exactly where we are now, which is the perfect place, because this is where we start the rest of our lives from. How can we say thank you for it and release it and just free it and
free it and free us.
Yes. And we're still in the box of, with the electricity go off again, and most of the people that started with us are not here with us, because we said we're not continuing. But if we're on this path, I really wanted also to say that what for women, one of the boxes a lot has to do with the way we think we should look. This is one big problematic box, because actually most of us really want to either look how the way we looked when we were 16, or even when we were 16 we didn't look that way.
Yeah.
And we are looking at ourselves, and we can't escape the box of how we think we should look. This is such a big box. And you know, it can be other things like, you know, the diplomas I think I should have, or anything that we have in our mind as a box that really arrests us, or is a source of comparison. And you know, the truth is, no one sees your box apart from you.
Yes.
Besides from you, no one knows how you think you should look, or what diplomas you think you should have. This is your own private box, my own private box,
Yes.
that we're taking with us. And I know this is such a huge stopper, blocker for people, you know, the age I should be, the family situation I should be in.
Yeah, and what considered to be an age, you know, where you are young, you are not young. Young people should speak with elderly people, and so on. We are in so many boxes as individual and as society.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a time to change it. This is a time where all ages can speak, like actually in the previous time, in the tribal life, you know? Not trouble life, tribal life. So actually some boxes are also come upon us, and some boxes we created ourselves. And this is a time to relook and to say goodbye and to appreciate what was and to take a position, because some things, actually we are now working on taking position about certain things like hypocrisy and cruelties that are not, we don't want them to be part of humanity anymore, because they didn't serve, never serve in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Never serve. And we want to invite kindness, we want to invite brightness, warmth, you know, smiling, humor, innovation, holistic perception about things, and to renew ourselves.
Yeah. So wow. Yeah, so this is a good technique of how to not escape our box, but how to invite new things to our box that we do want to see in our lives, which is very, very important.
Yeah, and we can choose for it, you know, there is many ways how to do it. We can choose for it a picture or a sentence that will serve us, will remind us, so we can actually have a little bit of a repetition before we go to sleep or early in the morning, and look at this picture and this word or this sentence and reconnect to the reason to change the patterns. Mm-hmm. To put the radio on a new channel that serves us better now.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be a bit of struggle. It will not go very easily, because you know all the waves come to the seashore again and again and again. This is part of the habitual life. But we can actually put some new spontaneity, new reasoning, new motive, and it will help us.
Yeah. So I have the feeling that for today we'll end this session. It's a bit out of our box, because it's not. Of course, the electricity problem was not what we planned to have, but I have the feeling that it's fine, because this plants a seed of starting to look at things of our behavior, thinking patterns, emotional patterns as actual boxes that really make us this small instead of this big, and make us arrested in that small experience instead of experiencing so much more. So maybe this is just the first step of recognizing things.
Yeah.
Astrologically, this is the time to recognize things, and let's stay with that for the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
And then we might have the next session about some ideas, solutions, hearing your stories as well.
Yeah. And if you have any exercise that you can share with us, this would be great, because we all want to learn from one another.
Yes.
And remember, it's a seed, and the seed is very tiny. So to change something, if we find the thing we want to change which is tiny, it might do, a bigger change. So look for the tiny, what is possible, not try to, do a revolution in the house. No, look for something very, very small. And if you have a family, also tell your family, this is what I want to change. Maybe they can help you.
Yeah. And yes, we promised a meditation, but instead of doing a meditation, we'll give you an idea for some questions that you can ask yourself. So you can ask yourself, what is a pattern which became my box, which I am arrested in? And then ask yourself, what is the reason? Where did this pattern come from? What is the reason for this pattern? Then you can tell your own pattern. Would you now, after you have served me so far, please release yourself from my life gently, because I'm open now to new kind of patterns. So with that, we'll say goodbye. Thank you for bearing with us with electricity problems, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks' time with no internet and electricity problems. Goodbye.
Bye. Have a good day and evening.
Goodbye,
good
everybody.
morning.
Bye. Bye now. Bye, everybody. Goodbye.